What's up, everybody? I got a few things to do tonight, but we have some special stuff to drill, and it's not often that we drill different stuff because we have so much regular stuff show up. What? Things to do tonight. Oh, balls! Where's the? We have some special stuff to drill, and okay. Listen to that idiot. All right. Okay. Anyhow, we don't drill a whole lot of extra stuff because we have plenty of regular stuff to throw, but we have a rule that once something hits 5 years old, we either drill it or sell it. And since the vast majority of our collection was bought to be drilled, we're going to drill some. It's kind of, bowling balls continue to cure as they age, so they get harder and harder, and it's kind of around the 5-year mark where I think that this is nothing scientific. It's just around the 5-year mark they start to suffer a little bit from a reaction perspective. So yeah, let's see those gems, and I'm not talking the magic. Right on. All right. So we're going to keep some of them a secret. I'm going to start on this end, and we're going to drill this way. So I'm just going to go on ahead and get going. I also have a few things. Pitch plugging Angel's UFO alert. Have an Eternity that's going to a new home, so we're plugging that. And also have an old overseas ball, the Marvel Max Force, that I'm not using myself anymore, so I'm plugging that for Angel. So if we have to get to plug work, we will do that. I highly doubt we will because we have 4 balls to drill, and between me talking and how long it already takes me to drill when I'm not talking, we'll see what happens. So, ball number 1. The first 2 are going to be Angel's, and the last 2 are going to be mine. Ball number 1 is a Roto Grip Major Authority. Angel's dad was a Marine in Vietnam, and so she likes all things patriotic. This has a giant eagle on it.
Because I have a military shirt on.
Yeah.
See if I can get it centered there.
This kind of reminds me of like the old Ebonite Cyclone, one of those colors. I can't say that I've seen another storm ball this color, or if I have, I don't really remember. It might be like a Wreckham, but the Wreckham was like more blue. Definitely a cool, different, interesting looking ball, or like a Virtual X, but that was overseas.
Oh, this was overseas.
Yeah, this one's also overseas, but yeah,
it's navy, red, and gold. Is
yeah,
what they're
it kind of looks like a Virtual X. The numbers on it. This one uses the cage core, which was from the Sinister that we did have stateside. RG's 252, differentials 054, and the mass bias is 015. So it's basically RST core numbers, because I think that's 252. 054, 016.
The Optimus was a brighter yellow. This is gold.
Yeah.
And normally I don't care for gold, but with the navy and the red, I don't know.
Yeah, this is more of a
it's like yellow
It's
gold.
a yellowy silver.
Yeah.
So
it's not. And there's not a ton in that one, really.
Yep. All right. Just getting her same layout as always.
Yeah, I'm not excited.
I have a very cheap and easy way to lay these out. Let's go 2.5 inches off the mass bias. This one has the Warrant Pearl cover, which it's an old enough cover. I can't remember what it had been on, but I think it's a kind of a cleaner, more responsive cover, if I don't remember correctly, because again, I have no idea what this was on. But just all the literature and everything on it, I think it's very similar to E-Trax. So this is going to be something kind of RST-ish, RST-X2-ish, but I think it's going to shape more like a nuclear cell. So we shall see. Choice of beverage tonight is Liquid Death, Grim Reefer, Leafer, Grim Reefer, Grim Leafer.
It's for a Halloween theme, I guess.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, are you going to punch holes in everything first and then? Or are you going to?
Oh crap! No, I forgot all about the. I got distracted. No, I'm definitely not gonna have to do that again. Olive Angel stuff gets React to Scuff just because it breaks that shine. Factory shine is not ever good for reaction. They only make them this shiny. And, you know, people drive me nuts when they say, well, you know, you should try them the way that the manufacturer intended them. It's like the only thing that the manufacturer intends is for them to look pretty. That's all it's done for.
They want to sell us.
Yeah, they really shine. So the dull stuff, they most of the time put at 2000 so that you walk in and see, oh, this is a dull ball. This is supposed to hook. Or, you know, when you walk in and see something that's really shiny, it looks prettier on the wall if it's super shiny, but it's not good for ball reaction. So, React to Scuff gets everything to about a 3000-ish grit sheen. Now, the reason that I use React to Scuff instead of a pad is because React to Scuff is always the exact same grit. As you use a pad, it ages. And so by using React to Scuff, you know, you could take a 2000 pad and use it a few times, then it's a little bit less, and then a little bit less, and before you know it, your 2000 pad turned into a 3000 pad and eventually turns into a 4000 pad. But if you're using React to Scuff, it's always the same grit. So that's why I prefer to use it either to break the shine or to finish stuff. So this very kind of lightly breaks the shine while still keeping it kind of somewhat shiny.
You call it what, like 3000 sheen or something?
Yeah, it's more of kind of a matte finish. I think you can already see it's still shiny, but it's not, you know, mirror shine like they come out of the box. And so that's why I recommend that everybody change their surfaces when they get a ball, because the only thing that the surface is meant to look good on the wall in a pro shop. It's not some specific.
Well, and you and others have commented that it's something that you can replicate.
Yeah.
Because if you throw the ball out of box and you love it after, you know, 20, 30 games, how do I get it back?
Yeah,
buy another ball.
You'll never be able to get it back to box finish, so.
Sorry. Yes, camera and the others were correct. That's a Marble Max Force.
All right. So, as you can see, still has a little bit of shine to it, but it's much more sheeny. Definitely don't have the all right, now to retrace my steps.
Good thing mine was easy.
I've made some, she has the same measurement, so I've made some shortcut measurements for calculations. So
And I know you wouldn't mess up because you don't want to redo this.
Well, I didn't want to have to redo it in the first place, so.
I meant like plugging and re-drilling, but yes.
Try to catch up with the comments here real quick. Thoughts on the new IQ? I'm not sure yet. I saw a little video of Kendall Miles throwing it on Instagram. But it's basically a harder version. It's basically the pitch black cover that meets the hardness spec and the IQ core. So they obviously needed to buff the core a little bit, or a stronger core than what's in traditional urethane, to make it to beef it up. Since, you know, you make a cover harder, it's going to be a whole lot less grippy, not near as much traction. So by making the cover stronger,
I read a comment at some point that
or the core stronger,
the Booyah, I guess, had a similar core. Is that right?
I don't know. I'd have to look that up, but probably.
I'm just wondering how close maybe that red would be to the
Yeah.
Booyah instead.
I don't know. Generally speaking, stronger core urethane hasn't really done well, because with something like the IQ, that core is early and smooth. Well, urethane is already early, and especially 500 grit urethane. So that's why they have weaker cores inside of urethane, because even with those super weak cores, urethane already digs really early and is really smooth. But with having to go to 78 hardness, you create a problem there. I'm not sure that the IQ is the 78 IQ is the answer, but we're going to find out. So yeah, any balls you recommend a surface change to out of the box, like every single one of them, even if you just completely reset the surface back to where it was, or back to where it's supposed to be. Because that's another thing, is that they don't really come out of the box super consistent either. You know, a ball that's supposed to be 3,000 grit most either comes at like 1,000 or almost polished. So I would recommend resetting everything just anyway. So, all right, loud noises. Let's see here. Perfect. So the major authority was inspected on April 24th of 2018. So this one's actually a little past due, but we had so much other stuff that we were drilling and throwing that this one kind of slipped through the cracks. So the reason for the 3 drill bits is one is 1.125 inches. The next one is 1.25 inches. And then I have a slightly oversized bit that's 1.25 inches. These turbo sleeves or these turbo slugs like to fit really, really tightly. So if you just use, so I use one to pilot and then one to finish the hole, and then the oversized just to expand it ever so slightly so that these actually fit a little bit better. Because otherwise, you've seen me before where I've had to put it in there and then really go fast to make sure that it doesn't get stuck halfway down. Well, this one will actually get down in there. So my buck. Where's my buddy? Where's my buddy? Almost goes in a little too easy now, but once that bit breaks in a little bit, we'll be in better shape. But even then, that's a whole lot nicer than having to like hammer on this thing to make sure that slug actually gets in there and doesn't get stuck. Yeah, offset thumbs are just a way to needlessly complicate something that doesn't need complicated. That's just because you can get to the same thing, you know, whether your finger hole. So if you do it regular T-grip, then your ring finger most of the time is going to be longer than your middle finger. But if you offset the thumb, basically what you're doing is drilling both of your fingers even and putting the thumb out here somewhere, when you could just drill it like that and be fine. Purists will say that, oh, well, no, but you know, the pitches that you get to with an offset grip, you can't get to them with a regular T-grip. No, you can. They're just not perfect increments of 1/8, 1/16, whatever else. They're going to be something like 1/37th or whatever else. But it's just a way to needlessly complicate something. Somebody was bored at some point and decided to do offset thumbs or centerline transfers or whatever else. It's just there's no point and no reason. think I saw a question on there. Somebody had asked, does a ball get too old to drill? I don't think so.
James, the reason that the boxes are turned was because Luke was trying to surprise people, which he said at the beginning of the stream. You have now been scolded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why the thumbnail was of boxes that didn't have anything pointed out, and that's why the other boxes are turned and this one's facing the camera. Ball number 1's done. I'll finish these up later so that we can keep moving right along. And since it's been spoiled anyway, all right, so we got major authority. The next ball is an intense. So this is one that Angel wanted because her favorite color is green and she never got a chance to drill one. I drilled one and she wanted one, but I was working in a pro shop at the time, so we're broke and couldn't afford it.
I don't remember if that was one of the... you actually ordered a second one to stash, or if that was a trade deal now.
I think it was a trade deal because you wanted one. The Intensity. So they don't do this very often. The labels are different colors. Both yellow and orange, so I don't know which.
Ooh, I think yellow might work better.
Yellow goes with the...
Yeah, I don't think orange works with the green.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do a yellow thumb.
The scent on this is Moroccan mint. It smells like the little candies that you get in the bowl at Indian restaurants. This one has R3S Pearl on it, which we last saw on the Spectre / Revenant. And this one had the Rad E core in it, which was 249, 050, and 017. So this is... I don't know exactly what it's like. Those are kind of standard numbers. The mass bias is a little lower than you would typically see on like a standard big ASIM. But stateside, we only got the Intense and the Intense Fire. I think the thing why we didn't see this, and we didn't even really see this core overseas either. I think that they had a couple more, but it died out pretty quick. This core shape was very, very sensitive to layouts. I had 2 Intense Fires, and the only
I was thinking that after that one, it was the Physics. Like that was the new...
Well, yes, but normally these continue overseas, or we would have gotten a solid one or whatever else.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I was just trying to think of something that, like, why they wouldn't continue that one. I was thinking the Physics core followed it.
Yeah, I drilled 2 Intense Fires. One of them was pin up, the other one was pin down. The other measurements were exactly the same, even the same pin distance. Or I guess the pin distance was the same and the initial angle was the same, but the valve angle was different. So it was pin up versus pin down, and they were completely different balls. Completely different balls. And I heard from a lot of people that said that were really, really mixed on both of them. Some thought they were great, some thought they were terrible. And so I really think that this core shape kind of was the issue there. So this one's gonna get reactive scuffed. Once again, if you didn't happen to be in here earlier, the reason I use reactive scuff rather than a pad is because pads will age. You know, you can start with a 2000 pad, use it a few times, it'll turn into a 3000 pad, then a 4000 pad. Reactive scuff is the exact same every single time. It's like using a fresh pad once and moving to another fresh pad. It really doesn't take that much either, and this stuff's a whole lot cheaper than going through pads as well. That's another fun fact. A bottle of this stuff will last you a long time, whereas pads are, you know, getting quite expensive. So if at home with a spinner, I greatly prefer this. It ends up at about a 3000-ish grit sheen, so it really just kind of breaks the factory shine. And again, people will say, well, you should really use them at box surface because that's how the manufacturer intended them. It's like, well, the manufacturer intended for them to look good on a wall in a pro shop. So that's why they have the ultra shiny stuff or the really dull stuff. So you can tell by walking in at a glance, the shiny stuff is supposed to be long and flippy, and the sanded stuff is supposed to be early and hook.
I also think I like the reactive scuff a little better because it's not gritty like a pad is.
It's not what? Like a pad is?
Like gritty, like the sandpaper type feel.
Oh, well.
Or not as chalky, or I don't know.
Yeah, well, it doesn't get it as rough.
Yeah, that's a better word. That's fine. And James mentioned the dog's name earlier, and he said Mistel. That's what we call her for short. Her name's actually Mistletoe. Her and her siblings were found in a storm drain at Christmas time. So they all got Christmas type names. We don't say mistletoe very often because the end of it sounds like no, so she thinks she's being scolded. So we really don't say mistletoe unless she's actually being scolded. Yes, go puppies. Oh yes, we all call her Mistel. Or Mistel.
So here's basically the surface that we ended up with. So you can see that it's not dull, but it's not shiny either. So we're just breaking the shine without really making it dull. So this is gonna make it a little bit more consistent, tone down the friction response a little bit, but without like making it really early and smooth. Once again, I had some people buy these pins here, and a few people said that they didn't work. I don't understand because the very same stuff, well, it won't mark on the ball or whatever else. This is the very same stuff that we got that we shared the links to, and all the different, it's like, well, the yellow one won't mark my ball or this or that or whatever else. I don't know what to tell you because it's all working fine for us. It's a whole lot better than them stupid grease pencils.
And that's originally came from Matt Sedan.
Okay.
I'm probably pronouncing it wrong.
Sedan.
Okay. But was local to James when he was in North Carolina.
Where's my buddy?
Are you talking? You gonna talk to the people?
What are you talking about, Buck? What are you talking about, Buck?
I could go eat your collar, and then I can attach the microphone to you.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Do you want to talk to the people? Say hi.
Mistletoe on top? 2 sniffs?
No. Oh, she licked the microphone, so I guess y'all got a kiss from the dog.
All right.
You're a dork.
Why don't you go say hi?
And what I'm doing down there once again is these slugs come with really sharp or kind of firm edges. And so since I'm doing yellow, I bevel the end down a little bit so that the glue can get between the slug and the ball rather than the slug scraping all the glue off the inside of the hole on the way down. William Durfee, thanks for the donation. Good looking out. Gifted 1 Luke Rosedall membership. That's interesting. Sweet, sweet. Max was gifted a membership. Sweet. That's cool. I think that's the first time that I've had somebody gift a membership. I really appreciate that. That's fun and that's different. That's something I haven't gotten too far into. So, yep. I've seen the Intense go down the lane recently. It looked really good. Yeah, I really I really liked mine. I like mine quite a bit, and she's kind of looking forward to it. The fire with my burn ball I killed for another one. Yeah, I think I had 300, 800, or a handful of honor scores with my first one. Where would NRG Pearl land? I think James got that one. Thanks for hanging out. Cameron, you're not here anymore, but with the same concept of react to scuff and step 1 or step 2 apply with regards to surface consistency or finish consistency, yeah, it's the same deal. Normally, with this new React-to-Gloss stuff, I take them all the way down to 1,000 first to get that stuff off of there. This was the old 1,500 grit polish, so this stuff is fine. So all we're doing here is just knocking the shine down a little bit, not because we don't want it super glossy, but it's not that nasty stuff clogging up all the pores of the ball that we have to just get completely off. But yeah, I would say that any surface, whatever, I would say adjust anything that you get from the factory, just period, whether it's bad stuff or not.
And with my lack of speed, I had issues with like nuclear cell type stuff. I couldn't throw them, so hopefully this blends a little better.
Yeah, Tobias said they're buying the graphite refills and those don't work. Yeah, the graphite refills are like the standard pencil, number 2 pencil lead.
Oh, yeah,
that's
that would be
definitely
bad.
not going to mark anything up. So yeah, you've got to use the grease pencil kind. Good point. All right.
See if it's operating.
Back to the rat killing. Let's see here.
Now I just want to take like a 2-ball tote, take that in my spare ball, and I'm done.
Yeah.
Well, I guess a 3-ball tote because we got to take the major now. Been so excited for this one though since you got yours 5.5 years ago, 6 years ago, whatever it was when you first got it.
Yeah. This one was closer. This Intense was inspected on 10/15/2018, so it's just 10 days past 5 years old.
But you got it like right when they came out though.
Mm-hmm.
So yours would have been 6.5 years ago or whatever.
I don't know how long they made them for though. I can't remember when it came out.
Oh. Well, I know you got them when you first got on, so.
Well, no, I didn't get them. This was a handful of years into it.
Mm. Oh, Tobias, I don't think that links will share in here. I think admin only can do them in the chat. Yeah, send it to James.
And the reason I stop and double check this all the time is because just to make sure that number one, you got the line in the right place, but it's a whole lot easier to measure off the edge of a hole than it is to measure to a line. And that needs to go just a hair bit. Oh, that's really close. Yeah.
And some people like the cut to cut, but he's doing it with the grips in.
Yeah, sometimes the grips are misshapen, sometimes their thickness is not quite consistent. Plus, there's a little knob on the end of this ruler, and with the grips being oval, it allows you to center the edge that you're measuring off of in the center of the hole. if you put the knob in there on a regular circled hole, the center of the hole is going to hit you in the center of the ruler. It's not going to hit you over here where you're actually measuring off of. That's going to be fine. So that's why I like doing cut to cut and measuring from the finger. Or full span. So this, once again, this oversized 1.25" bit, this is 5 thousandths larger than my other one, because the standard one, the 1.25" is 1.250, the oversized is 1.255. And that makes all the difference in the world. We go from getting it in with difficulty to just kind of letting it slip right down. Good measure. Not that it needed it. Those are both the Angels balls. Like I said, we'll finish those once we get everything drilled. This one, as some have already pointed out in the chat and may have noticed, this box is significantly different looking from the boxes that we have now. Oh, dang. He gifted 5 memberships now. Holy carp.
Who's doing the gifting?
Thank you, Mr. Durfee. William Durfee. Biddle, Jonathan, Billy, Chris, and Jeremy. Heck yeah. Yeah, I'm watching a man in his home play with round, cool-looking spheres running a vacuum. I would have never guessed this would be my adult life 2 decades ago in my teens. Yup. You and me both, buddy. All right. So this one's one that I'm really excited about. This is not quite the tour de force of the night. I am, of course, saving that one for last. However, aside from having somebody's name written all over it, this one was one that I really enjoyed. This ball is over 20 years old. I really liked this ball the first time it came out and when I had it 20 years ago. And I happened upon one and was offered a quite fair deal on it. And so I jumped on it. And we've kind of gotten a little bit out of the getting stuff just to have them. It seems kind of weird for stuff to just kind of sit on a shelf until it cracks or, you know, we're not doing anything with it, it's just sitting down there on a shelf.
Well, in the first few we got, I think it was just, oh, that's so cool, we have to have it. And then after we get it, it's like, oh.
Yeah,
that wasn't smart.
It was expensive and it's just going to sit here and do nothing. So I decided to just go on ahead and drill this one because it's in perfect condition. It has the perfect specs. I really liked it way back when, and it's 20 years old and I'm curious. So I know you can't really see it. This is an X Factor Reloaded.
And it still smells.
It still is very strongly scented. I thought it smelled like apple cinnamon Cheerios to begin with, and it still smells just as strongly as I remember way back in the day. And it does, they say that scent is one of the strongest scents tied to memory. And this one just makes me think of the OG all way back in those days. You can smell it through the camera, I'm sure.
Yeah, I've smelled it dozens of times.
Yeah.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes. I'm not huge on the apple because it's not my favorite, but I can appreciate it.
Well, it's also apple cinnamon.
Yeah.
So, and you don't like cinnamon.
No, I don't like either of those things.
So.
And notice all of the pretty ball cups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Scarred prints.
Scar that is in here.
Yep.
Did you put his link in the description?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
if y'all want ball cups.
X Factor Reloaded.
Here, I'll move it closer.
This thing is in perfect condition. It has just the absolute perfect specs.
It is gorgeous.
2.5 ounces of top weight. Pin placement is 3.5 to 4 inches. Perfectly in line. There's not a ding, dent, blemish anywhere on this cover.
No, go back. You can almost see like little specks of like what would be considered hook milk, but it's...
Yeah, there's a little bit of hook milk.
Pretty.
So this had the original rad core in it. So this was the X Factor was the original rad core, the radial accelerating density or something like that. Radial accelerating disc.
Yeah.
And so we're still using cores based on this core today. There's no core information on there, but that's a very, very old label. And if you're just joining us, again, we've drilled Angel, a Major Authority, and an Intense. Now it's time to drill my stuff. But we still have like the Rad 4 core in the Code series. We're still using that. We have the Rad E in the Intense that we just drilled. So rad stuff shows up in all kinds of everything. So yeah, so I'm gonna go on ahead and drill this exactly how I've been drilling all my other asymmetric stuff. So the pin's gonna go in the ring finger, and yeah. So I do actually have to measure this one out.
You should, like 5 times.
Yeah. Gotta make sure I drill it left-handed. So 4 3/4 by 3.5 by 3.5.
Somebody said they saved one of their Phaze 4 bags because it smells so strongly.
Yeah.
And while you all are in here, mark your calendars for, was it December 9th?
December 9th.
For the Doggo Stream fundraiser. It's if you haven't been there before, you can go back on Luke's channel and search fundraiser. But we have a stream every year that's a wrap up and Doggo fundraiser. Lots of cool prizes.
All right. And let me see, 2 1/4 up. Bam. So those of you that are a member, I did put in our community chat today what balls I was drilling tonight, and I believe that this core was 252 054 013. So it's kind of like an RST core, a little bit lower on the int diff. So it's medium RG. It's not going to fight medium RG. It's not going to fight me for length. The cover stock on this is Pearl Particle, and they don't use, or they still use particle cover stocks, but they don't call them particle anymore because particle got a bad connotation for hooking a bunch for like 30 games and then dying quickly. And so they stopped. They continued to use particle covers, and they just don't call them particle because of the bad sounding name. So again, this is a 20-year-old ball that we're about to put holes into. It looks like it has shrunk a little bit. It was inspected by inspector number 5 on July 23rd of 03. So this is 20 years and 4 months old. Almost to the day. And 20 years later, it's probably going to suck. But this could be one of those very, very interesting, it hooks a little bit, or it hooks just enough to be really, really good on tough stuff or be like uber controllable. So I'm excited.
Could be your ASIM hustle.
Yeah, this could be like a like a play off my Tour Dynamics.
Should be fun, regardless.
Yep. All right, are we ready here? Okay, I want to make sure I get all that pin. And drilling the pin out also helps protect against this. And fun fact, this does not void the warranty. You know, if you drill within like an inch of the pin, it voids the warranty. If you drill the pin completely out, it does not, because that removes, because basically the pin is the hole from where the rod was that held the core in place while the cover was being poured around it. And then they just filled it back up. Well, as cores became more advanced, it became an indicator to help a drilling aid. But there's a hole there and it's filled with a different kind of material. And if you drill too close to it, it's prone to cracking because there's very close proximity to basically another hole right there. But if you drill the pin completely out, it's just a hole. It's just like, you know, drilling one of the Brunswick dot balls, because there's just a hole and there's nothing around it. So if you drill a pin out, if you're close to the pin or drilling it half out, just drill the entire thing out. The layout's not going to change enough to really...
Yeah, either move further away or...
For you to really notice.
One way or the other.
It's... All right.
Everybody's threatening James in the chat.
20-year-old ball. Threatening?
Well,
dang,
like,
man.
this or else,
Oh.
or, like,
James, okay, I guess I got to pay attention to him for a second because he did give me $20. Would you rather eat a pickle or be forced to use nothing but your least favorite ball of all time for an entire month of league and tournament bowling? So my least favorite, I would probably try to choke the pickle. I'm not sure that would actually happen though. That would be extremely difficult. Like, I've just got gag reflex like you wouldn't believe. It just...
But it's like 10 minutes worth of torture or an entire month
I'm
of
saying
league.
I may not even be able to do it. Like, physically not be able to do it. I'm not sure it would actually go down. I mean, I would definitely try, but my least favorite ball of all time is the Ebonite Savage Flip, and it's not close. I've had some other really, really bad ones, but the Savage Flip, miserable. I would try to do the pickle, though. I would try to do the pickle, but the Savage Flip is just beyond the worst ball of all time, and it's not close.
Small little pickle
Yeah, I mean... Whew.
Just the thought of it, it looks like you're...
Yeah, the Storm B28. Most don't know the Zen and Eternity are particle. Yeah, so that's the thing. They refined it somewhat, and they figured out what they were doing. And I think another part of the problem is that this ball, it says it comes at 1,000 out of the box. That's definitely not 1,000. This is more like a 3,000. Again, this is basically React-A-Scuff, so I'm not touching it. I probably should just to freshen it up. But yeah. Yeah, I like wasting time on bowl. Yeah, BOWWWL, looking at all these old bowling balls from the 90s and 2000s, seeing what I remember from my younger days. Yep.
Not the puppies.
Strong Dog's the white one.
Yep.
Mistletoe is the darker one.
What are you doing, Buck Buck?
There's Aspen back there.
Buck Buck. Hi, Buck Buck. Storm Dog, you want to come say hi? Come here. Miso. Hi, baby. You want to do hugs? You want 2 hugs? If I can get all the other ones away. Nice job. Nice job, doggy. Good doggy. Thank you. You down? Okay, I know.
Yeah.
I know. I've got stuff to do, sweetie. I've still got... I know, Buck Buck. I've still got stuff to plug. Oh, this is the same way as the Intense. It's got orange labels.
Yeah.
Orange and yellow labels. That's interesting. All right. Watch as this thing explodes. crap. Well, I forgot one of my drilling steps, naturally. I don't think it'll be that big of a deal, though. Alright.
What step did you forget?
Oh, I forgot to do my second drop down the bit size.
Oh.
I caught it for the middle finger, so it doesn't matter as much on the ring finger. Yep. What are you talking about, Buck?
I put the other mic in the kitchen so they can hear.
Okay. You doing it, Buck? You a violence, Bucko? What's the matter, buddy? What's the matter, buddy? Bark, bark, bark. Woof, woof, woof. You said a woof. You said a woof. You nice doggy measles. Smart Buck. What's the matter, buddy? Why are you violent, sir? What's the matter, buddy? It's wet outside.
Yeah, he keeps going out, he stands on the steps and he like halfway hops over to his top, but he doesn't want to walk over.
Yeah. It's because you're a dingo.
He's a princess.
D-I-N-G-O. D-I-N-G-O, and dingo was his name-o.
What's the oldest ball you currently have in your collection?
That one. I'm pretty sure. I don't, unless, that Centennial 1976 plastic ball, that bicentennial.
Well, and I don't know when that actually, because we didn't have the box, so I don't know
Yeah.
how old it really is. It may not be that old.
Yeah.
You have the depth chart, but that's newer.
Do I have any? Oh, no, Cam. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I got through all those. Those were fantastic. You have to send me more. Move, Dingo. I know, I'm doing stuff. Dingo.
You need to go outside. Is that what you're working for?
Perfect. And perfect.
No surface adjustment with this.
You just look at this right now. I mean, this would go in very, very difficultly with the standard 1.25 inch, but with just an extra 5/1000ths bigger of a bit.
Yes, those of you that can hear Storm, the other microphone is in the kitchen where he was talking.
What are you doing, DINGO?
Sitting there staring outside like, stop raining.
Yeah. Yeah, Storm Doge doesn't really like rain. Now, he will get his paws dirty digging.
Yeah.
He just doesn't like...
Mud.
Yeah. Now, it just slides right down in there. For good measure, completely unnecessary. I've got one of the simplest fits out there. My thumb is actually round or not oval enough to require an oval. Plus, I don't like the way that they feel, so I just have a round thumb hole. So. All right. There is the X Factor Reloaded. I'm pretty excited to throw this one. I'm sure it's not going to hook, but whatever. I can just turn it into a display ball. All right. This one is the Tour de Force. It's not actually called a Tour de Force, but it does have a tour in it. This one is a little crazy because it's an overseas ball, number one. The other balls in this line that were stateside I liked all of them. They were really good for me at the time. And so when I saw this one come out, I was interested in starting to collect this line of balls. And I thought this one just looked so ridiculously cool that I really wanted it. And so I looked around for it. But again, you know, we were somewhat broke. And so I had a buddy that watched the channel quite a bit, and he did me a solid and got me a good deal on one. And then I'm like, well, it's too cool. I can't drill it yet. But then COVID happened and I switched hands right at that time. And so I'm like, well, I'm not going to drill it now just for me to suck. And then the last couple of years, I got to the point where I thought, okay, I might want to go ahead and drill it. But this line of balls hasn't been great for me left-handed. And then especially the last couple of years, I haven't been throwing it well. But I said, you know what? I dug one of these out, or one of this line of ball out, and it's been reacting pretty good. And so I thought, okay, well, I know what I want to do with it. I know for sure what layout I want to put on it. And I said, okay, well, next time, once I actually get good enough again to, you know, shoot an honor score or something like that, then I'll go on ahead and drill it. It will be 5 years old on the 7th of November, so it's time to drill it anyway. The pain on this one, though, is that it's one of the rarest balls in the world. Extremely sought after, especially for people who collect this line. But due to the hookup that I got on it, I don't feel right about just turning around and selling it for this massive amount of profit. But I could sell this ball for $450 shipped, and it would be gone inside of 15 minutes. And if I held out and waited for the price I wanted, I could get $500 for it. And there's a lot of people, possibly even more. But there's a lot of people, oh, no, bowling ball's worth that. And it's like, well, no, I'm not expecting $500 ball reaction. But like anything else, there are quarters out there that are worth significantly more than 25 cents due to their age, rarity, whatever else. So this ball, like anything else, it's rare, it's in demand, that makes the value go up. So whether or not you think a bowling ball is worth $500, that doesn't factor into it. You know, you're probably the same type of person. Whoever says that probably watches Antique Roadshow and thinks that a quarter could legitimately sell for $1,000. So
Rant off.
I don't want to hear it. So, everybody already knows what this is anyway. This is a Phaze Tour. So it has the velocity core in it. The specs are amazing. The ball is immaculate. It's GI 18 Pearl. Though a little birdie told me that it's actually Spec Pearl. They just called it this for the purpose of kind of testing it overseas. Remember, the Crux Prime was the first spec ball, and it was spec solid, and it came out in January of 19, or February of 19, or something like that. So, I think that those of you who have watched me for a while have definitely seen me pull it out of the bag several times. We actually talked about this on the Breakdown Pair Monday night. So it looks an awful lot like the original Phaze, but it's just freaking cool. It smells like blueberries, so it smells amazing. It looks amazing. And I have been throwing my Phaze G quite a bit lately. It's older too. It's got quite a bit of use on it by now. And I can tell it's starting to slow down just a touch. And so this, I think, is going to be in the same neighborhood. And so, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put holes in a $500 ball. So there's that.
Well, one way or
It started
you put
to-
holes in it, because if you decided that you just couldn't do it, I was throwing it.
I'm not sure that I could actually put holes in it yeah, for anybody, but we're going to do it because
Well,
YOLO. I am going to go on ahead and react to Scuff It because I do want to break this. I do like factory shine, but I liked it a whole lot more on the right side. I'm not necessarily too prone to it on the left, so I'm going to go on ahead and deface it before we begin.
you want these boxes back? Actually, I'm going to take them downstairs since we're done with them. Do you want to keep that one up there for now?
Yeah. Can't believe I'm actually doing this. Man, I could get all kinds of stuff. All kinds of other stuff. Like I could trade this. I could do like a 3-for-1. I could sell this and get a case of Summits. Let me see what other. There's some other stuff that I've been really interested in. I could get all kinds of other stuff. But ultimately speaking, it's going to sit on my shelf or it's going to sit on somebody else's shelf and just be an expensive hunk of bowling ball sitting there. And I'm thinking, why not? Just go on ahead and use it. We are filming for the Journey on Sunday, plus I drilled a TNT infuse because it finally showed up. So some of these are also, I don't know how much time we're going to have on Sunday for other stuff, but some of these are going, or they're all going to get video at some point. I just don't know if we're going to have camera battery and you know, lane pattern integrity to do all of them. And if worst comes to worst, if they completely suck, they'll just go on the display shelf downstairs. They'll just go right back on the shelf. They'll just have holes in them this time. So, I mean, realistically speaking, we weren't going to actually get rid of any of these, but it just seemed kind of dumb to, you know, just leave it sitting down there on a shelf. Now, this does make me think very heavily when doing this. That's not a 5-inch pin. It's a 4.5-inch pin. Interessante. I don't have anything up here that's a 5-inch pin. Can you go get my Summit?
Yep.
And or my, get the Phaze G actually. One other interesting thing of note while we're doing this, I have a Phaze G, which is an overseas Phaze 2, with the Journey coming out soon and being the Pearl version of TX16. I've got a hybrid version of TX16. So I have an actual straight up Phaze 2 hybrid. Pretty ball cut. Phaze G. So this is another one. I really like the Phases right-handed, and I never actually got around to drilling the grip right-handed. I didn't drill this one right-handed. I've also got a Phaze 3 SE down there. I'm pretty sure I have a, I've got a Phaze Pink too, one of the breast cancer balls. Plus I have a couple of Phaze 3s, original Phaze 3s. So I've got a fair handful of the Phaze balls, but again, this is TX16 hybrid. This is the only time they ever used that cover. And well, they put it on the dark Phaze too, but I couldn't find a dark. The Phaze G acts a ton like Phaze 5, just stronger. Obviously, TX16 is a whole lot stronger cover than R2S. So this is, it shapes like it. I'm thinking this is going to kind of be the same. I think it's going to shape a lot like Phaze G, Phaze 2, Phaze 5, rather than like Phaze 4 or Phaze 3, which reacted significantly different, in my opinion, than the Phases. What happened? Oh yeah, Tawny, the Phaze tour was touched by God herself. Yep. Yep. I could have had 2 Phaze tours. I did actually have 2 Phaze tours in my possession, but one good deed deserves another. So yeah, I'm actually drilling it. But yeah, so I'm going to put exactly the same layout. Phaze 2 has not been good for me whatsoever on the left side. I've had a couple of them. They've both been terrible, both with this layout. However, this ball looks amazing with this layout, and I've been going back to 5-inch pins lately because I'm not playing as much lane really as I used to. And so this gets me through the fronts and then has a really nice blend between continuation and forward down lane, so I can control my shapes a little bit better. The 4.5 or 4-inch stuff starts up a little too early, wants to be a little too continuous, and so it kind of actually gives me angle issues. I can float out of these and they get right down there and they stop and they go straight through the pocket. So I'm going to copy this layout. Very, very simple way without actually having to line this up. I just got to line up the inside edge of the pin on the Prosect. Just line it up and we're good to go. And then CG position doesn't matter. All I'm really trying to do is keep it out of the way of my pinky. That would be tragic if I ended up doing that. So, or I would have to shave. I took my pinky, and sometimes these, like this one is fine because my pinky ends up over here, the CG's down here. But if I get it to the point where my knuckle is dragging on that or catching on that CG logo, that just drives me up a frickin' wall. So I'm actually going to kick this one out just a little bit further to make sure that we don't have that problem. Once again, CG placement on symmetric balls does not matter. So it doesn't matter where I put it. It just needs to not be. Yeah, that needs to go out a little bit further. Alright, so finger, that'll work. His fingers will go about right there. Yep, I'm not close, so we're good. Let me see. Oh, 1 7/8 down from the center of the pin. This gives me 5x2 for the layout.
No, Tani, you deserve all the props for what you did.
Fingers go right there. Perfect. Okay. So yeah. No CG nonsense in the way. Yeah. All right. Oh, okay, everybody. It's time to put holes in a $500 bowling ball.
You keep saying that. You need to stop.
There ain't no bowling ball that's worth $500.
Child, I'm gonna go grab that bat out of your closet and beat you with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That pencil is a mechanical pencil that has lead refills. This stuff is a whole lot more durable, and you have to get the grease pencil again. And this is in German. I'm pretty. Oh no, it's. So this is. These are not the graphite ones. These are the grease pencil ones. The wax pencil. But yeah, it's just like a mechanical pencil. It's just for grease pencils, and this is a whole lot better because it holds up a lot better. It doesn't break and crumble like a grease pencil does when you try to go sharpen them. So, all right, Phaze tour. Man. Type F in the chat for drilling $1,000 worth of bowling balls tonight.
Oh, stop, child.
What, Buck?
The amount of work and effort we put in, I say we, I put up with you, so I guess there's that. But you put in a ton of work over the years.
Yeah, I know, but There's a lot of things I could do with $1,000.
Yeah, well,
That
you're
don't-
putting holes in balls. That's what you're
Yeah.
gonna do with $1,000.
Man, maybe in my next life I'll be smart. Oh yeah. We're gonna do a red slug. Where's my buddy?
Miss, miss.
Need the baby miss? Whoops.
Mito. It's a mito. Oh, that's a miss. You're such a sweet girl. Yes, you is. You're such a sweet girl. Yes, you is. I know, he's making loud noises. I know. He's making loud noises.
What you doing, Buck Buck? So what I did with the fingers drilling those out there is the knuckle on your fingers is wider and bigger than the tip of your finger. And so I like having a tighter fit on the fingers. And so I actually drop down a bit size to more form fit, so it fits the knuckle, but it also fits the tip too. I don't like having it fit the knuckle and being able to kind of swim. So
No going back now.
yeah. If you can't do something smart, do something right. Not sure that this is necessarily right, but we'll see. Let's see. Yes, these orbs will be thrown on Friday. Do you just display on a shelf or actually display with a case? When we retire old stuff, we just have a shelf that it goes onto, and I've actually got it's going to be a kind of pseudo set whenever I get around to actually doing back to doing rabbit trails or one of the other streaming ideas that I had in mind. And so our kind of nostalgia shelf is going to be the backdrop for that. So
I do have one display case that has my Belmo Sparkle display that Belmo signed.
Yeah. Yep, I'm a Pinky Tucker. I saw a really good, when I started bowling, I saw a really good bowler that did that, and so I decided I was going to do it too. I had no idea why, it just looked cool. So, yep. And now there's no way I could throw it without doing that, so.
You gonna take a picture of you splitting hash lines here? Or did you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
I don't want it. Almost just a little on the long side. Fine. Okay. Notice the lack of talking. We finally found what it takes to shut me up. There are more expensive bowling balls in the basement. We have 2 IQ pinks that would go for a pretty penny. Again, I also have a Phaze pink.
I think my Belmo signed Sparkle's the most expensive.
Yeah, the Belmo, but that one's not getting grilled.
No.
Belmo
But
Sparkle
just
is
you were,
by far the most expensive.
yes. No, Malcolm, you do not get the IQ pink.
Yeah. Might have to,
Sorry, sweetie.
got a high wire down there. Jordan Richard really loves those. And apparently Stephanie Zavala loves pink badgers. And we have 3 of those.
That's not going anywhere either. What? What are you doing? You're not giving away my bowling ball. That's the rest of the decaf and get me some Nerf guns.
All right. Man. Terribly stupid idea. Let's make sure that the... Well, that's a little closer than I wanted it to be. So I might have to shave that down a little bit, but we'll see. All right, so Phase G aside.
I'll take that.
All right. Oh, this bag must have been for something else.
It was probably one of the other balls that was around here.
All right. So we have a Phase Tour, X Factor Reloaded, an Intense, and a Major Authority. We're going ahead and clean everything up and buzz stuff and finish stuff up. So continue to ask stuff. Thoughts on the Roto Grip Uproar 260 RG 030 diff to achieve urethane-like controllable motion to play the dry on house shot with low ball speed? No. I don't remember the Uproar having those numbers unless you're in a different weight.
I'll put this over here.
I still think being a reactive ball, it's going to be too much. How do you know if your span is right? Measurements. Plus, I've done this a million times so I could eyeball this. So when I did that, made that little adjustment, I knew exactly the amount of adjustment I needed, and I've done it so many times that it's going to measure out perfect. Bang. Split and hash marks on rulers, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Dagnab picking up once you get the inside. Yeah, hash marks on rulers, man. Bango, bango, bongo. All right.
Do you want to keep finishing them on the stream, or do you just want to talk to people and get off? And
Yeah, I can keep going. I got this right here.
okay. Just wasn't sure it was 9 o'clock, so.
Yeah, I know. I just want to get this. If I turn the stream off, I'm definitely not going to finish this right now. So
I know. I didn't know if you wanted to finish them
I
now.
don't want to finish them right now, but I need to get these edges off these holes.
Okay.
So I don't want to have a cracked $500 ball that I can't even throw. If I throw it and it sucks, then, you know, whatever. But I want to at least be able to throw it first.
Okay.
Wish my buddy. One more, buddy. Can you get this up higher?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you want it tilted?
No, I think everybody can see stuff. I'll put it over there a little bit.
Well, I was trying to keep it away from the vacuum.
Oh, well. Angel stuff should be good to go because it never really takes much for her.
Yeah, less is more.
Oh, how do you know if your span is right fit-wise? Like how much space should be there between your hand and the ball?
I think somebody said a pencil. Like
Yeah,
if you could.
yeah, you can fit a pencil there generally. Generally speaking, if you put your thumb in the ball, you should be able to kind of lay your fingers out comfortably and have the center of the hole, or have your crease there, split the center of the hole. But people will always try to do dumb stuff like, oh yeah, put your thumb in the ball and then lay your fingers out, and then they'll do this number. Oh yeah, that's really short. That's really short. I'm like, no, but you can also do this. So that doesn't really, you have to kind of have an idea. So this is comfortably with your thumb socket directly above the thumb hole. Lay my fingers without, again, stretching. You want your thumb socket directly above the thumb hole, and then just kind of lay your fingers out there, and your creases should split the holes perfectly, unless you're doing this or any other odd number of nonsense. So. And you always want to, even though I'm not taking much material out of Angels, you always want to bevel the finger holes before you put the grips in, because that helps round the edge off of it, so it won't be as prone to cracking.
Doesn't guarantee, but it helps.
Yeah, it helps quite a bit. Because it's also more impact resistant too. So if a ball bounces, hits a pin, or hits something in the back around the finger area, a rounder edge isn't going to be as prone to getting dented, split, whatever else, as a sharper one. Plus, it's a little bit more comfortable. I actually have to take a bit of material out of my middle finger, and actually I need that Phaze G back.
Oh, it's right here. I didn't take it downstairs.
Let's go ahead and, here, try yours.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure that I can just glue grips in and you can take them.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
Okay. So I can just glue her grips in and get these out of here.
As little as he does to mine, he still will not glue the grips in until I check them.
Yeah, just in case. So we'll want to be sure to glue under the cover stock as much as possible, because glue will get in the cover stock and it expands and contracts at a different rate than the ball does. Thank you, Bucko. So if you ever have the circular spider cracking around your fingers, that's probably from glue being up in the cover stock. This also gives you a little bit of flexibility around the top of the hole too. You know, if you have your grips put in there and you have larger size grips, having them spread out to different corners because they glue to the very top of the grip isn't the most comfortable. What are you doing, Buck? You dancing, buddy? You dancing, buddy? Dancing with the buckos? Where's my buddy? Why are you violent? Why are you violent, Dango? Oh, Corrupted Husky, what's your highest series ever? 825. I could have had a triplicate, but I missed a 10 pin in the 9th frame of the last game. So I could have had 79, 79, 79 for an 837, which would have been awesome, but oh well. Just have to do that again. That would definitely be something I could do. That is a whole lot easier possibility to do on the left side. Like if I've got it. Of course, there have been a couple times where I've had a big number early and then it's just kind of gotten away from me in the last game. I think I've had 579, 569, 568 going in lefty, and then just couldn't finish it off.
With the fan blowing my direction, I can smell the mint.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
All right, the intense is done.
Okay, I'll take that off. I'll come back.
And also, unless you have wild pitches, there's no reason for somebody to cut the tops off with a razor blade. That's just a very, very lazy way of doing it most of the time. They just put the grip in and they glue it in so that they don't have to try to actually do anything. They just glue it in and they just razor blade around the top and then they call it good. And it feels like crap. Now, people that have vacuums have to do that. Most of the time, or especially if going to nationals. They don't really check or care any other time. But unless you have, again, crazy pitches, there's no reason to have to do it. All you have to do is glue the top of the grip on the bridge side. Just get it even with the bridge, and then you just have to push the opposite side down a little bit. It's a very, very simple process. That's not difficult. It looks good. I don't have to cut them.
It's just a time-consuming thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just a little bit more time-consuming, but it's not a big deal. Okay. Now I've got to figure out the ring finger. I know is going to be fine. It's just the middle finger I've got to do a little bit of working on. Yeah, ring finger's fine. Middle finger actually just needs a little bit out of the top. I've got my Phaze G is one of my better. I really like the way that the grips fit on this one. So just want to make sure I'm not having a fat or skinny finger day. So that needs just a little bit more out of the middle finger. Yeah, I forgot to do the ring finger is definitely fine on that one. Middle finger needs just a little bit more. Forgot to do I can put a shim in there. I think I forgot to do it on the Tour Dynamics too, so I just put a shim in there and called it good. At least it feels good. Yep, feels just like that one, so that's perfect.
Oh, you want it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna switch it.
It's still a little... Span feels good on this one at least, so...
You can hop up, Bubba's. Come on. You can hop up. You gotta stay back here. Think of.
Still just a tad bit at the top. Just a tad bit.
Do you want to pick?
That should do it. I don't want to push it any more than that. Oh yeah, yep. That will definitely do it. All the excess dust off here. Mass shooting in a bowling alley. Okay. What kind of surface adjustments would you recommend for an OG Zen that's got a decent amount of games on it, still got the original polished surface on it? I would say what actually works really good is once it gets lane shined and it starts getting a little blah, just taking the lane shine off and freshening the cover up with some Reacta scuff works really good, especially if you want to keep it there. If you like the reaction you're getting, there's no reason to really mess with it. But Reacta scuff will just kind of freshen the surface up and get all the surface junk off of there or whatever else. And then it won't really change the reaction hardly at all. Plus, it'll just take a game, if it does, it just takes about a game to get that little bit of that lane shine back onto it. So... spare time lanes in Maine. Interesting. Spare time in Connecticut. Does the smell of fresh drilled balls ever get old or unsatisfying? Nope. But I'm pretty sure that was a rhetorical question anyway. Something about emptying the shop vac is really the one, because it just that gives you that big old fresh burst, plus gets you started on the black lung, or I guess it'd be the white lung really. Pro shop guys get the white lung. Yeah. Man. Oh yeah, sorry, just tuning in. Got asked to sub tonight, 761. Boy, it sounds like I'm going to get tagged in another Facebook post. How to start getting mad right now. Mwah ha ha.
Maybe one of these days you can tag him instead.
Probably should. I've shot an awful lot of 751s in the last month or so. Man, that's about as perfect as I've ever drilled anything. And I've drilled a lot of awful perfect stuff.
Is that label actually going to bother you?
I don't think so. I think I'd have to, because it slips. Actually, my pinky slips down, and so this is just right outside. It ended up not being a problem. So.
Okay.
What's your thoughts on smooth edge and rough edge polishing compounds? Well, they're still not available for staffers to order yet, so I have no idea. From what I've seen and heard, and looking up the safety data sheets on them and actually checking out the chemical composition, they don't have the slip agent in them that Reactogloss does, so they should be really, really good stuff. And considering that Storm's step compounds, Step 1 was a little chalky and Step 3 was way too fine. Everybody kind of migrated to Step 2 anyway, and rough and smooth. Smooth is supposed to be in between Step 2 and Step 3, and rough is supposed to be in between Step 1 and Step 2. And so I think rather than having 3 compounds, 2 of which nobody used, having 2 compounds that kind of split those gaps better, I think it's going to be really good stuff. But they're not available to me yet, so I haven't been able to try them. But I've been hearing and expecting really, really good things. So
I believe somebody said they ordered some off like Amazon or something. So
well, you can get them. I mean, we're the only ones that can't get them. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them on Bowler's Mart. You can whatever else. It's just they are not available to the staffers yet. And yet another brilliant marketing move. Why would you actually want your representatives using and showing off the new products?
I keep waiting to get the, there's a lime 2-ball tote that I guess is supposed to, like if you go on the website, I guess there's like a lime 2-ball tote, and I really want to order one of those, and I still can't.
Yeah. Can I get Joel's opinion on the Infinite Physics? I liked it quite a bit, and I think that a lot of people liked it quite a bit. It got discontinued a little too early, I think.
I want a new unboxed one so bad.
Yeah, and Angel wants a new one. That's
I had one. We drilled it, or he drilled it. I threw it for the review. I took it for 1 or 2 nights of league. Took it to a tournament. It went in the ditch, and there was a screw in the ditch, and a big chunk came out right in my track.
What's the matter, buddy?
So I rehomed it to a 2-hander because they weren't going to be in my track.
Why are you violent?
In their track. And ordered a second one to take. And then Luke decided he wanted to do his right-handed experiment, so he took it. And I was like, yeah, I'll get another one. It'll be fine. You can take that one.
Yeah.
And then they discontinued it. So I got 2 league sets and practice in a tournament with mine,
Yeah.
other than filming.
Those both feel perfect. Yeah. That X Factor.
I'm whining, yes, but I want another.
Heck yeah, Borkin.
I'm still bitter.
Heckers to the yeah. I mean, this is just perfect too. The pin was right there, so it was just perfect. CG was dead center right on the line. I mean, it's immaculate cover stock. It's just in the best condition that you could possibly imagine. So this is the only one I didn't hit because it came kind of already at reactor scuff. So how often do you refresh your covers on equipment that you use? You can start to tell when they get just a little bit beat up, or when you've got that really, you get some stuff on them and then you have that really, like this Intense, I haven't put a whole bunch of
Absolute.
whatever Absolute, I haven't put a whole lot of stuff on, so you can see it's still got that nice bright shine to it. I don't think I need to do it yet on the G, but you can see the G kind of has some, I don't know, it's harder to see with that light on. But I'll just kind of, so.
Look at the dogs. They're telling you.
I know.
Okay.
So you've got this nice kind of pristine shine on the Absolute. And then you can see it's kind of lane when the ball gets beat up, or when it's got lane shine on it, like this hasn't been used a whole lot. That's had a recent cover refresh. That one had some use on it. You can see it's a little beat up. So once you use them a little bit, they're shiny, but they're also a little beat up. So you can see that they almost kind of start to get dullish. And that's a belt mark on there I need to get rid of. But they kind of get that, you can see it just looks dirty. It just looks kind of dingy. There's a few little scratches in it, but it just looks dirty. Where this looks nice and clean and pretty. I haven't used this often enough to really put any dents into it. This one just looks dingy. So I would say that this one's probably due for a surface refresh. And really all I do is just take reactive scuff to it, because it gets it back to this nice, it's still shiny-ish, but it's got this nice little sheen to it. This one's in good shape and ready to go. And this one kind of that's how it came out of the box. So I mean, that's just, I'm not messing with that. That's just perfect. So, original rad core. Phaze Tour, $1 million bowling ball.
Stop it.
So, all right. Well, thanks a bunch, everybody, for hanging out tonight. I think we're going to go on ahead and let you all go. It's nap time. Let me see. With your love of the Phaze line, thoughts on the Phaze Frenzy? We had a Phaze Frenzy that we let go. And I think I either got a really good deal on it or somebody needed it for their collection. I can't remember what happened to the Frenzy.
I have it in a spreadsheet, but I don't remember now.
But yeah. So we had a Phaze Frenzy, and I either traded it for something that I really wanted, and the Frenzy was kind of like, well, I'm never actually going to drill this. And I think I got a really good offer on it, because I think I paid like $350 for it and sold it for $425 like 6 months after I got it. Or something like that.
It was longer than that, but you traded it. You got something for something.
Okay. I might have traded it for one of those IQ Pink. Yeah, that's what it was. I traded it for one of those IQ Pinks and then something else. Or no, I traded the IQ Pink I got for something and $50.
We're saying goodnight, dear.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyhow, I had a Phaze Frenzy. I wasn't ever going to drill it. I would kind of like it back, but at the same time, it's just way too strong. I would have never thrown it.
No.
So
You want it back because you want it back, not practical.
yeah, pretty much. I would never throw it. It's just like we've got a Phaze flow down there. We actually had 2 or 3 Phaze flows.
We had 3.
And we let a couple of them go because it's just, she's going to drill one and she'll actually be able to use it. It would be way too strong for me to ever even consider.
You got one when you were righty, and then when you switched.
Yeah.
You knew you weren't gonna, so we sold or traded one, and then the first year we got over $5,000 for the fundraiser.
Oh yeah.
You donated it to the fundraiser as the primo prize.
Yeah. Put a phase. I gave a phase flow away because there was there's no way I was ever going to throw
No,
it.
so we only kept mine.
Oh yeah. Maze balls.
Okay, invite the doggo. Say goodnight.
Yeah. Puppy dogs. Miss, where's Measles? Measles, come here. Hugs, 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 hugs. Come here, hugs,
No.
hugs. Come here, Measles, hugs, hugs. There you go. Hugs, hugs. There you go, there's the hugs.
She puts her paws on his shoulders
Yeah,
and
she's a
kind of
good dog.
pulls a little bit.
Good dog, I know. You good hugs. You good hugs. You done? Okay. Bye. All right. Long boy. Storm dog, come here. There you go, Buck Buck. Good Buck Buck. I know. Good buddy. Aspen, you gonna jump up?
He
Violent?
is. Yeah, I don't think.
Hi, Pickles. Hey, why don't you go away?
Storm,
You're the happiest
leave
pig.
her alone for just a minute.
You're the happiest pig. You're the
She got
happiest.
sick a couple weeks
scratches.
ago,
Aspen,
and he has
Aspen,
been
come here.
absolutely
Aspen,
terrified
Aspen.
and infatuated with her. Now, every time she jumps up, he.
Come here. Aspen.
No.
Hey, go away.
Luke, I'm
Yeah,
telling you,
okay.
don't.
You're nice pigs. You're nice pigs. Oh, all right. Did you get the stretch? Oh, yes. Just stretch it out, the pigs. Oh, Pickles. All right. You ready? You guys ready to go to bed? Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Thanks again to Mr. William Durfee for gifting all those subs. That's a fun little thing to do. Thanks,
I didn't even know
James,
that was a thing, actually.
for the donation. Yeah, it's a fairly new thing on YouTube, but yeah, he was able to gift some subscriptions to my membership on the YouTubes,
Very cool.
which is very appreciated. Thanks everybody for hanging out. The finish on the X Factor is 3,000-ish. I think it's supposed to be 1,000. Definitely doesn't look like 1,000. It looks like a polished ball that was react-a-scuffed. So maybe next time. I've got a little bit more plug work to do, so I might do this again somewhat soon. But thanks everybody for hanging out. Thanks for all the stuff. It was a good time. Drilled a lot of expensive bowling balls. I will get video for all these, so you will get to see what these actually look like. So thanks everybody, and we'll see you next time.